making freezer meals. I'm super excited about it, and I'm also doing pantry challenge. I know I'm late, but you know, better late than never. So I'm going to be doing freezer meals all about chicken and raw chicken. So last time I did freezer meals, I did meatloaf and chicken meatballs. So I did ground meat and I did uncooked ground meat. And I found that I was able to make a ton of meals in just an hour. So I'm going to try that again. I have right here some chicken thighs. These are bone in. I'm deviating from the recipe a little bit because I'm trying to use up some bone-in chicken thighs. We don't eat them all that often. I have 4 packages left, so I'm using 2 here. I'm going to be making some lemon garlic butter chicken. Now, all of these meals today are crock pot recipes. This one I'm going to be putting in a pan though, just because I'm using chicken thighs that are bone-in, skin on instead of boneless and skinless. And I thought I just heard water going at my sink there. So I'm going to use these different, but you could just throw everything into a bag to cook in the crock pot. I'm going to start out by spraying these pans. And I always make my freezer meals small because we're only a household of 2, and if I make like a 9 by 13, we have to eat the same meal forever and ever and ever, it seems. So I am going to start by dropping in these chicken thighs. I have 6 total, and I'm hoping I can fit all of them in here. Now I know that the other one, this package has bigger chicken thighs, so will we be able to do it, or will I have to do an extra one? Now I thawed these out just enough to get them out of the packaging and break them apart, but these are still completely frozen. I think this one will fit here. Try not to touch it. Well, I might have to. Okay, these will be a little bit less food in each, but you know what? It's still a meal because we would only eat 1 each with dinner anyways, so that's okay. I have a little bit left, well, not a little bit, most of this jar left of pork stock. Overzealous there. I'm going to mix everything in this bowl first, and then I will pour it over the chicken. So all the spices and such. I figure that'll be easier. Well, that one's out. Have to refill it. So we've got paprika, garlic, onion, some red pepper flakes, Italian seasoning, and then salt and pepper, which I might take the salt and pepper and go directly over the chicken. I feel like that would be a good thing to do. And then we'll add some garlic, and we'll add lemon juice. That's how we get it to be the garlic lemon. Okay, there's pepper, here's the salt. I'm very excited to get freezer meals back in the freezer. I don't have very many left. I've been really trying hard to eat through everything, and I'm still doing that while making the freezer meals. So we're getting through everything little by little. Here comes some lemon juice. I need about a half a lemon's worth, so I'm gonna say maybe that much. And I think I'm gonna use the rest of this garlic. Try not to grab all that garlic juice though with it. Okay, give this a mix. And I'm just going to pour this over the top of them, evenly between them is the goal. Last step for these ones is to add a pat of butter on each of them. So I am going to cut this in half and then in thirds, and that'll give us our even amount of butter pats. we have lemon, garlic, chicken thighs. And today is March something. I don't know. It's March something. March of 24. This is not really fitting. Is it because of that butter? Yeah. Alrighty, 3 little meals down, 3 to go. Next up is a brown sugar balsamic glaze. I've added the labels to these bags. So I'm going to get a full package of thighs in here. These are, I think there's 6 chicken thighs, and they are frozen, but I feel like that's gonna be totally fine because it's going into this bag. But I am going to remove the other bag. I just want it to be the other direction in here. There we go. Get those out of the way. So we're going, this one's a little bit different. We're going to do a glaze that we're going to put in the bag in a different bag. And that glaze will be put on after. So for this meal, you don't just dump the whole thing in the crock pot, you dump part of it and then later you'll add the glaze. Alrighty, each bag gets some salt, pepper, garlic. And then some allspice, which I do not have allspice, but I do have all of the ingredients that kind of make allspice. It's basically like pumpkin pie spice almost. So I'm doing cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves, and I'm only going to do a teeny tiny bit because it only calls for like a 1/4 teaspoon or something like that each, so just a little bit. I don't want an overwhelming flavor. Okay. Now each of these gets a 1/2 cup of water, double checking. Now I can set these to the side and we need to make the glaze. So I need 1/2 cup of water, which is in here, and then my recipe's over to the side, which is why I'm looking that way. A 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. So we're going to 1 1/4. Okay, whoa. 2 tablespoons of, oh, you know what though? Yeah, that's right. I'm realizing that I'm doubling the recipe and I'm only doing the sauce once. So we'll do the sauce twice. We need 2 teaspoons of, or tablespoons of soy sauce. I'm going to use cocoa aminos. Call that good. Then a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. And my trick for brown sugar to keep it nice and soft is to keep it in the freezer. It never gets hard. I mean, it's a little hard when it's frozen, but it's still super moist and great. So that's the trick. And then we also need 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Tablespoon of cornstarch. I'm trying to think, do I want to like mix this part in a little bit first? I think I do. don't want it clumpy. So I'm gonna put the tablespoon here. We're going to mix this up, dissolve that sugar. I think I'm going to try to move some of it into here as well. Had I been thinking, I would have done this sooner. Just to dissolve this. I need more of the glaze. All right, the cornstarch is all dissolved, so I feel good about putting that into here. Give that a good mix. I feel like maybe I should try it. Let's see, stick my finger in it. Oh, that's really good. I feel like it could use a pinch of salt though. Okay. Let's get it into here. And I am going to throw this right on in here with everything else. Oh no, it's spilling. Well, how is it spilling? Oh, maybe that was the water from in. Maybe that wasn't this. Nope, it is this. Okay, so I'm just gonna be careful to not, I just need to put it in the freezer very nicely so it doesn't spill before it freezes. All right, we're gonna do that one more time. I am going to start with the cornstarch actually, because that just makes way more sense. Add a little bit of the water and then we'll add the rest of the water. That works so much better. So we have a cup, we need a couple tablespoons of the cocoa aminos. And then a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. And then I wanted a little bit of salt. And then a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. All right, let's get this into this bag, and hopefully this bag doesn't leak. I probably should have used freezer bags. I have freezer quarts, but I didn't think I needed that. Into the freezer it goes. Next recipe we're going to make is zucchini pineapple barbecue chicken. And this recipe didn't call for zucchini pineapple, it called for regular pineapple, but I have zucchini pineapple, so I'm going to use that. Plus that'll give us a little bit of a veggie. I'm going to start by spraying these pans Now you could just put this in the crock pot as well. I'm just putting it in here. This recipe actually called to be baked. So I guess they're not all crock pot meals, but we're partly there. So this has 2 pounds of diced chicken in this bag, and the recipe only calls for 1 pound. So I'm going to divvy this up between 2 different containers. Oh gosh. And I thawed it out just enough to get them out of the package, and that was it. I do want to see if I can separate them a little bit though. Oh, it's cold. All right, each pan needs a little bit of salt and pepper. And then we are going to add the barbecue sauce, just some of it, and then we'll add some zucchini on top of it, and then we'll add more barbecue sauce. So I need to add just a little bit there. That smells so good. This is our home canned barbecue sauce, home canned zucchini pineapple. I'm trying to figure out, do I want to just use a spoon here? I need to make sure to not touch the chicken with the spoon. I'm saying that out loud because I need to remember that. That piece right there, I need a different spoon to touch it with. This piece isn't gonna let it close, so I need to get that down. It says use a 1/2 cup of barbecue sauce. I feel like I'm already using a 1/2 cup and I haven't even put the top portion on yet. So maybe I'm gonna double the barbecue sauce because that sounds good. So I can touch the chicken. All that to say, it'll be fine to touch the chicken. Kind of give it a mix. Oh, this barbecue sauce smells delicious. Okay, I think we've got a good coat on there. I'm going to set this aside. Now, it says to drain out the sauce, the pineapple juice, and I don't want that to go to waste, so I'm going to drain it into this cup right here. Good feels. It smells so good. Okay, this one will go on top of here. You guys can't even see it. There you go. It says a whole can. Then a whole can on the other one. This is something I don't think my husband will like. He is not a fan of pineapples, and when the zucchini is just like this, he says it's too close to pineapple, but I'll like it. All right, let's see. I just want to flatten this out enough to where I'll be able to actually close it. Some of that out of there. All right, now pour the rest of this on top. Not me doubling the barbecue sauce, but of course, right? Looks delicious. I mean, it looks raw, but it looks delicious other than being raw. This one needs some more of the barbecue sauce. Alrighty, another one done. Let's get the labels on them and get them in the freezer. Alrighty, to the freezer they go. The last meal we're going to make right now is a crock pot orange chicken. It's not like your standard Chinese orange chicken. It's just like an orange juice sauce. Not that crispy, but I have that extra pineapple juice from the last recipe, so I'm going to use that as well. The recipe actually only calls for like half of the amount of sauce that I'm going to make, maybe a little bit more than half because I have a little bit more chicken than it calls for, but no one ever complained about too much sauce, right? So the sauce is going to get quite a few things. I have orange juice and the pineapple juice, a cup of each. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. And this one's a true crock pot meal. You just throw it right in. And then some minced onion. All my spices that have been coming out. I am going to add the rest of this ginger, I think, or most of it. Well, maybe not all of it. Ginger can be very overwhelming to me, so we're just gonna add that much. There's a little bit of ginger left. I have these little like garlic, I don't know, things. That didn't get it open. So I'm gonna pop a few of these in here too. Probably 4 of them. Get these out of my way. It calls for a 1/4 cup of rice vinegar, but I'm basically doubling, so I need to do more than a 1/4 cup. That might be the rest of this. Okay, we're using things up. That's what I like. Whew. A tablespoon of sriracha, and we're doubling, which means I'm only putting in a tablespoon of sriracha. That's how I double sriracha. I put the amount it called for just 1 because sriracha is too much for me. And then a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, which means that I need a 1/2 cup, which is 2 1/4 cups. I almost missed it. It called for soy sauce. I'm going to use the actual soy. We're going to see here if it gives me a headache or not. And then we need 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And since I'm doubling, we need 4. And it does say to just put it all together, so that's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to put our 2 tablespoons of, is it 2? Yeah, it's like a 1/4 cup is what I need then of soy sauce. I'm going to put that in here and use it to mix the cornstarch up. Yeah, it's only a little bit overflowing. This, oh gosh, bigger bowl would have been good. I do have to say though, I recently ate sushi and I used the cocoa aminos instead of soy sauce, and I gotta say that was actually a lot better with the sushi than the soy sauce was. So definitely was a fan. I'm just gonna take my time here and try to get all the lumps out of this cornstarch. Oh gosh, got a little bit of a mess, but I'm throwing this all in. Oh, we have a little bit of cornstarch here that I still need to mix up. The garlic in there is still pretty frozen, and so I just need to make sure that when I separate it out that I get enough garlic into each meal. All right. So this package has approximately 1.5 pounds of chicken in it, and this one has just evenly a pound. And the reason for that is because I made some tomatillo soup, and I made a quarter recipe because that's all of the tomatillos that I grew during the year. So I have a little bit there. Let's get this in here. So I'm going to add about a little bit of this so that these are even. It's probably good. So these will each have about what? Pound and 1.35 pounds, something like that. Very technical. That's probably not exactly how much it is, but close. Okay. And I think the way that I want to make sure I have garlic in each is I'm just going to take a garlic. I should get 3 in each. 2, 3. There's 2 of them. And the third, and I'm making a huge mess. It smells good. I am going to try to evenly put half of this in each. So how much am I starting with? I can see the side with milliliters. So 700, so I need 350, which is, ooh, that line? Okay. Yep, that was great. When you go too fast pouring out of this, it doesn't come out well. You have to go really slow. The spout is super tiny, and I find this out every time I use it. You would think it would have been the bag that would have screwed me up, but in this case, it was not. It was going too fast with this measuring cup. Oh, let's get some of the goodness into each of these. All the brown sugar that hasn't dissolved yet. It wasn't too bad. 1 paper towel's worth, I'll take it. Zip them up before I actually just spill them though. All right, the last one is done. Let me get them all out, clean up a little bit, and then I'll show you what all we did. Alrighty, we did it. We started this at 10:07, maybe a few minutes before, just because that's when I started pulling ingredients out. It is now 11:05, and so we did it 1 hour for a bunch of freezer meals. I love doing this style of freezer meals where I pick one topic, I stick with it, and I make meals just like that. It goes super quick. I get a lot of meals out of it, and then I'm able to really just rotate through a few different things. So this makes so much more sense because instead of being at the stove, at the oven, all around doing all these different things, I'm just focusing on one thing, which makes it go so much faster. So I just got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 freezer meals in 1 hour, and they're all chicken meals, but I've got chicken bone-in skin on chicken thighs, I have chicken breasts, I've got chicken thighs diced. We have all different kinds. So recap of what we got. We have lemon garlic chicken thighs bone in. We have barbecue pineapple chicken, which is actually zucchini pineapple. We have the slow cooker balsamic chicken, and we have the pineapple orange chicken. So we got a great assortment. These are definitely more of summery meals. We're getting close to summer, so I'm really excited to try them. I love the taste of summer. I'm so excited for it to be here. These are all meals that you could cook in a crock pot. The lemon garlic chicken is meant to cook in a crock pot, but I used bone and skin on chicken thighs, so you definitely would need to, and probably not, I mean, I guess you could use a crock pot with those, but then you'd have to like broil them or something to get the skin nice and crispy. But all of these you could just throw in a crock pot instead of putting them in the oven for these. But I'm super excited about this. I'm getting my freezer full. I'm working through all the things. I'm doing pantry challenge in March. It's true. I really just couldn't focus on it earlier this year as much as I tried. I tried a few times. I'm trying it now, and I actually can say I 100% am focused on it. I am making progress, and I'm so glad to just be back. I'm back in my mental state. I'm back cooking, and I'm loving it. So if you're loving it too, give this video a thumbs up. If you're new here and haven't yet, please subscribe. I'd love to see you. If you love freezer meals, I will pop up some freezer meals right here for you to watch, or there will be 2 other videos at the end screen for you if you want something else. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.